Hey everyone, how we doing today? Got my wire over here so it's a little bit more reachable. It's the Bite and Breck show here with your co-host, him. Why doesn't he go over where the camera isn't? Huh? I mean, the brush and the treats are over here. Morning, Bob. Morning, Ruth. Good morning, Tracy. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Logan. Good morning, Scott. Hi, Janine. Hey, Angela. How are you? Hello from Texas. I see Nibble peering around the corner already. She thinks kitty treat time. Gonna keep her distance a little bit. She'll walk when she doesn't think we're looking at her. But we see everything you're doing, Nibble. Till you go behind the couch. You do her loop around the lazy boy chair here, and that's how that usually works. The big question now is, does she pop out here or not? There she is, goes back to her room. Maybe. But not before a little stretch. And that's it. Goodbye, Nibble. It's funny how that works. Comes out here briefly and walks around once and then goes back in. Jan's got computer problems. I know what that's like. I got something weird going on with my computer too. I think it's maybe the power supply is going bad. You want the possum? Yeah, they aren't really that cute. They're like a they're the size of a cat, but they look like a rat. Good morning, Laura Lee. Snowing in Ohio? Yeah, I guess I was seeing in the news this morning that that there's like a storm front that's going through like that area. I noticed it mentioned Minnesota, but Ohio is right there too. Going to be very interesting, and you'll see what happens there over the next couple days. Hello, Brian. What do I think will happen in Ukraine? I don't know. I don't see anybody stepping up and helping the Ukrainians. I mean, if we could just send them some offensive weapons, that's all they want. They don't want anyone to come and fight their battles for them. They're actually doing a decent job over there. They just need some help with weapons. There was talk about a week ago about giving them MIGs, just not even current MIGs, but old MIGs, and they were happy with that because that's they know that technology, and they know how to fly it, they know how to repair it. But no one wants to help. It's really sad. Have I mentioned the bat story yet? Just on Facebook. Yeah, happy birthday, Charlotte and Logan. Oh, okay. I thought I'd missed something here. Birthday cake for Bite and Nibble. All right. Did you enjoy it? Huh? You're 15 years and 1 week old right now. What do you think of that? Do you feel older now than you did a week ago? You're just as lazy, aren't you? Oh, there goes Bite. I guess he didn't like being insulted. Didn't like me calling him lazy. Oh well, that's the way. That's the way it goes. Good morning, Sandra. Brian has a calico cat named Callie. That's cool. What will I do about the kitchen cabinets? I'm going to take some time off of that for a while. I got to reevaluate what's going on. Find the right contractor, but just this whole thing just wore me out. So I'm going to take some time. It's not like it's something I have to have to do right away. Do I ever see Jordan? Yeah, Jordan was here a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't seen him in a while since he came and visited me in the apartment about 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago. Like just laying over there on the floor, and actually Nibbles just off shot a little bit there. How's mom? Mom has had her urinary tract infection thing again here, and that's been bugging her. She sent me a text message, and let's see what she said. Okay, just checking in. So far, I'm good. I'm hanging in. Hope you and all your viewers are well. Finally, have some rain coming tomorrow. Not much, but we're thankful for every drop. Hope I had a good week. Blah blah blah. She cleaned closets this week and cleaned out a lot of stuff. Love to Charlotte and Logan. Happy spring. So there you go. Right from the horse's mouth. Charlotte was afraid that the possum was going to bite me. That's actually happened once. I got bit by a possum in my backyard in California. It was sort of kind of my own fault. I knew there was a possum in the area. I'd seen it a few times. And at the time, I had a fish pond in the backyard. And I bought this fish food that came in like a big box. It was like almost like a Cheerios box, but like maybe like four times the size. And I just kept the box in the backyard. And whenever it was time to feed the fish, I just reach in, grab a handful, and throw it into the pond for them. Well, one night when I did that, there was a possum in the box. I didn't realize it. I reached my hand in there, and it clamped on me. But generally, possums are pretty docile. They're more likely to try and run and hide than be aggressive or come after you. They're they have a tendency to. Somebody's mentioned the worst they do is bare their teeth and hiss at you. Unless, like I said, you're dumb enough to reach into a box that they're in, then they will bite you. But generally, they're more of a flight than fight type creature. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the comment. I'm grateful for all of you who watch so regularly, tune into the live streams every week. When that whole storm thing started happening, I didn't even think about turning it into a vlog. In fact, the footage of me in the backyard when the siren was going off, that was actually just something I live streamed onto Facebook, and I started thinking about that. You know what? I got to put that whole thing on video. And I don't know, that turned out pretty good. It actually turned out to be a pretty successful video. Yeah, when I got bit by the possum, I was concerned about rabies. And so I ended up going to the emergency room about it. It happened at like 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. So it wasn't like I go to the doctor or something like that. And nobody there could really tell me what the likelihood of, them getting rabies, me getting rabies from possum was. I actually called vector control the next day because I was still concerned about that. And asked if they had any data on it. And the girl that I talked to on the phone didn't know offhand, but she said, "You know what? I'll research it for you and see if I can figure it out." And about 24 hours later, she called me back and said that there had been 2 documented cases of people getting rabies from possums in like the last 80 or 100 years. So I figured my odds are pretty safe that even if they do bite me, there probably wasn't going to be a problem. But possums were a little bit more of an issue in California than they're going to be here. I had a fish pond in California, and the possums would go after the fish. And in the morning, I'd come up and there'd be like fish carcasses all over the place. And I knew it, and all the lily pads had been torn up. But there's nothing like that now, so there's no reason to do anything but take pictures of them. Even the ones in California, I caught them and relocated them. There were a few like open areas around where I lived in California, and so I could get half a mile or a mile from a road in the middle of some park somewhere and just let them loose. I mean, I'm not meaning I don't mean a park like a playground type park, like a wild a state park or something that had just a lot of wild area. Yes, happy Mother's Day to the British moms. Your dogs hate the sirens. Yeah, I had a dog when I was a kid, a golden retriever that was not a fan of police sirens and fire trucks and ambulances and that kind of sirens. And he would always panic when that would happen. He'd howl and just become terrified. No, I didn't see any damage in the area. No, the possums never caused a problem to flash in California, and I probably caught 10 or 12 of them in my backyard. So they don't seem to be any problem. I don't expect it'll be any issue here. Hello, Bill. How are you? Any big plans for 2022? Well, I mean, I'm just kind of making it up as I go along here. Ah, meow, meow. Can you come up here? Huh? Okay, there you go. Rhonda's got news. What's your news? Cats didn't seem to be bothered by the sirens. They just kind of. In fact, there was that one shot that where I was in here looking at the radio, and Bite was just here chilling on the couch. Didn't seem to bother him at all. And Nibbles sort of the same way. I assume that she just hung out in her room and slept through it. It wasn't a really loud siren. It was enough that you were aware of it, but it wasn't like a police siren or something like that. Rhonda got a job. All right, congratulations, Rhonda. I know how that feels. Your landlord just bought a trap, and the first thing they caught was a possum. They relocated it. Yeah, see, I always relocated the possums. Um, I don't have any problem with them being there. I just don't want them eating my fish. Part time. Well, part time job is a part time job. And the thing with part time jobs is if they see you're good, it sometimes moves to full time. Yeah, we hear you, Rhonda. Hello, Gene. Is that you saying hello to Gene? Always get his attention when I open the kitty treat jar. He takes it and runs. I thought maybe throwing a kitty treat down the hall would coax a nibble out, but all it did is make Bite run down to the end of the hall. Well, working at a grocery store, that's definitely something that could go permanent or full time if you want. If you want to do that. Hey, Bite, came back for more, didn't you? Okay, so that's how a tube drop works. Okay, I can see that. I always found it pretty easy to capture possums, though. They're pretty predictable. In fact, the other night when I was chasing that one, I knew exactly where it went. I knew it had gone into Flash's cave even before I saw it in there because that was how I always caught the possums. I catch them in the yard. hiding in the yard, what I do is I tip a trash can over on its side, put it along a wall, the wall of the house or something like that, and lay it on the side and chase the possum. The possum would go into it. You'd see that as shelter, and then I got him in the trash can. Then all you got to do is transfer him to the cat carrier. I'm not disclosing what I do for a living just because there's people out there that would take that information and try and manipulate it and try and use it to hurt me or target my boss or target the company or something like that. I have to keep certain things private. Hope you understand. I'm in the manufacturing industry. I'll just leave it at that. How's Beth? I haven't talked to Beth in a while. Basically, the periodic videos I got of her from Flash ended when Flash started hibernating. But yeah, well, we got to see all your menagerie farm of animals too, Rhonda. I never knew what a skinny pig was. When am I going to do the bathroom? I don't know. Probably this summer sometime. When it's kind of in the middle point between winter and summer, like it is right now, it's nice to do stuff outside, and so I want to do that as much as possible. But at some point, it's going to get to the point where it's miserable to be outside, and then I'm just going to just feel good to be inside in the air conditioning, and that's uh, when you do the things like paint the bathroom. The Sears Zoo. Yeah, right. Thank you, Nancy. It's good to see your name. Turned out the skinny pig is yours, huh? And you're the one that didn't want it initially. Yeah, it's funny how that works. I don't know. I haven't figured out what color I'm going to do the bathroom yet. There's Jeff. How's it going? Charlotte says that the skinny pig bites her, but licks mommy. Huh? That's funny. I had guinea pigs when I was a kid, and they would occasionally bite. I don't think any of them ever licked me. Fried chicken. That sounds good. Yeah, Logan wants some chicken too. Yeah, that was my first time. Being being that close to a real tornado. Like I said on the video, I'd heard him test the sirens before, but never. It's never been the real thing. But I kind of knew where they were saying it was, and tornadoes tend to go in kind of a northeast direction. It's something just the way they work. So I could kind of predict if it's here, if it's at a certain location, it's going to miss me. And it was 20 miles away and moving kind of away from me, so I wasn't really worried. I was definitely aware of the situation. All right, just gonna eat enough chicken for all of us. All right, we got it made. See, it's fun when it snows here, but I wouldn't want to be someplace where it snows all the time and it snows all winter and stuff like that. I like that we get a little brushing of it here now and then. Um, People say it's kind of rare that it snows here, but it snowed in some form every year I've been here, so I like that. Logan said she eats a lot, so you're gonna have to eat a lot of chicken for Logan. I eat a lot too, Jeff, so eat a lot for me too. Driving in snow is definitely a different situation. I think Rhonda doesn't like snow. I don't know. It's just intuition, but it doesn't. I don't think she likes snow. Yeah, Jeff will be in a food coma with based on how much chicken he's going to eat. Been incredibly windy and cold, but sunny in Minnesota. I hear you get a blizzard coming in the next day or so. It's supposed to be really nice here. We're supposed to get into the 90s today. In fact, I opened up the windows over here and the windows in the cat room because then we'll get kind of a breeze blowing through here. You don't live you live in Canada, but you don't like snow. There's something wrong there. You're going to have to adjust one of those issues because you're going to get snow in Canada, definitely. All right, if you can find a cheap flight, you're going to head to Waco in the fall. Definitely, talk to me when you get close to that. We'll get together. Am I still doing the puzzles? I haven't really worked on the second one lately. It's really a challenging puzzle, and so it really has. I haven't done anything on it in a while. It's still out, but it's one of those that I just can't find even one piece, and that gets a little frustrating, and you kind of lose interest in it. The other one, there was enough difference in the puzzle. You kind of figure out where things had to be. Yeah, gas prices are crazy. They went above $4 a gallon here. That's twice what it was a year ago, year and a half ago, I guess technically. Now they've gone down a little bit. I think it's down to like 380, but that's still, a lot more than the $1.87 I was paying, not that long ago. Some people say the price of gas went down a little bit because of the COVID thing and people weren't driving as much, but gas was low even before that because, I don't think I ever saw it above $1.99 here. Yeah, but that's a liter, right? See, that's still a lot of money. It's not $1.67 doesn't sound that much, but if it was $1.67 a gallon, that's one thing, but that's a liter. Yeah, have a good lunch, Jeff. Yeah, yeah, I saw him. All right, Jeff's going to be on live tonight, so everyone check in for that. I didn't know there was an Elvis Lego set. We have a request for a belly rub. Are you up for a belly rub? Come on, belly rub time. Oops. There's the big fat belly. I used to love Legos when I was a kid. In fact, I still have some of my Legos. One of the things that bugs me about Legos today, though, is they're all, it's all, build this one thing, buy this kit and build this one thing. I liked the ones I had that was just kind of a general collection of pieces, and you built your own thing. I don't see those anymore. Maybe they still have them, but it's always a Lego Death Star or a Lego, you know, Battlestar Galactica something, Darth Vader's head or something like that. Your dog heard belly rub and rolled over. Never tried a 3D puzzle. I've seen them. I guess this bite disappeared. We'll square up the camera here a little bit. Charlotte wants to know if I eat bananas. Sometimes. I mean, I'm not a person that goes out and buying a bunch of bananas and snacks on them that much. But I like banana bread. I made some in the Instant Pot a while ago. I guess if I was going to say a fruit that I like, I'm probably more an apple, orange, peach kind of person. Strawberries, I love strawberries. Watermelon, plum, grapes. She's eating one now, and that's why she asked. All right, yeah, it seems to me I've heard that that there's a lot of bananas that are consumed over there. Is the possum still in the yard? I don't know if it's still in the yard. I did not relocate this one. At this point, critters like that, I'm just gonna, you know, get video of them, and that's gonna be the end of it. I don't mind them being there. I had an issue with the possums in California because they'd get into my fish pond and eat my fish, and that was a problem. The girls don't like the fuzz on the peaches. Oh man, that's the best part. You can get a recipe you're gonna send me. All right, there we go. Get the Mrs. Fields cookie recipe. Definitely send that to me. We'll try that. Lots of banana bread. Yeah, yeah. Well, if you have a lot of bananas in the house, banana bread is the way to go, especially if they start turning a little bit. Yeah, I like grapefruit too. You're right. Logan spits the fuzz onto the coffee table if you don't peel them. Oh man, Logan, the peach fuzz is good. My mom is doing good. She had a little bit of a urinary tract infection about a week ago, but I think she's on the mend with that. Uh, she's looking forward to a little rain that may be happening today. In fact, let me look see if it actually is raining because she sent me this last night and was saying rain tomorrow. So let's see if there's anything actually happening here. Looks like there's something offshore. This is kind of the west coast of the United States, and my sister and mom live real close to Sacramento here. But you can see out in the ocean here that there's some weather happening there. So I don't know. They could get some rain. It looks like it's a few hours away, but always possible, right? Logan spitting her, sticking her tongue out of me. Nectarines are good too, but I think I prefer peaches. Your dad used to make baked beans with bacon in it. I've heard of people doing that. In fact, I think I've even had baked beans with bacon in it. I mean, there's not much that isn't made better with bacon, right? What do you think, Bite? Do you like bacon? I know Jaw loves bacon. You have an instant pot ribs tonight. Excellent. Hey, Black Dot, how are you? Yeah, who doesn't like bacon? Hmm. You telling my mom? Uh-oh. Now I'm in trouble. I'll tell you what, you can make your complaint right here on the live stream and she'll watch it. She'll see it. And I promise you she will take appropriate action. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting things like blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. But rumor is that maybe takes a couple years to do. But that's okay. A couple years from now, I'll be enjoying them. Jamie wants beans now, huh? Thanks, Tracy. Good to see you again. Yeah, right. There's no such thing as too much bacon. Yes, I'll have a order of bacon with a side of bacon and bacon for dessert. I wouldn't want a bird to come and sit on my tongue. That wouldn't be any good. Oh, you're right. I forgot to turn the lights on. This is kind of a last minute get ready for that. Hang on, I'll help your OCD here. We'll turn on the lights because I also don't have my little crystal skull thing lit up either. There we go. Is that better? Bacon salad dressing. Now we're going to talk about bacon, I guess, for the rest of the live stream. It always devolves into food talk, doesn't it? Yeah, it seems to me I've heard that that some of the berries like a more acidic soil. We'll figure that out. Yeah, yeah, we had a bat at work. That was insane. Okay, let me let me tell you about this because this is This was quite literally the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me at this place. First off, you got to understand how it's a manufacturing facility, and we have different production lines in different rooms, and the rooms are all right next to each other, and then there's a big hall that goes between them, and like glass doors that you can look out into the hall, and the glass doors are on automatic openers so that you can, press a button and the door will open for you, and then you can walk in, and the door closes behind you. Anyway, it's these big glass doors that you can see through. And I was on my line yesterday, and I happened to look out into the hall through the glass door, and I saw something fly by, and I thought, "There's a bird in here." And then a second later, it flipped around and flew back by the window again. I said, "That's not a bird, that's a bat." And then a couple seconds later, one of my coworkers came by the door, and she was really excited. She was, pointing and waving her arms and stuff like that. And I know what it was she was pointing at, but she didn't think that I had seen it. So I decided, okay, well, at one point it flew into the glass door and landed on the ground right in front of the door. And so I said, okay, well, I'm not going to open the door to go out, but there was another door that went into an adjacent line, and I was going to go into that line and then go out that door and get behind this thing, see if I could catch it. Well, about the time I went out the other door, the bat itself went under the door into my line. And so next thing I know, there's this bat flying back and forth on the line. You fly to one end of the room and the other end of the room and back and forth 5 or 6 times. And I'm sitting there waving my arms trying to get this thing. And a couple other people are in there trying to figure out how we're going to catch this thing. At one point, I got on the radio and called my boss and said, "Can you please come over to my line? There's a bat in here. It's flying around the line." And everyone in the department had heard that, so everyone wanted to know the story afterwards. It turns out after about flying back and forth on the line about half a dozen times, we managed to get it down onto the ground. It bumped into something, ended up on the ground. We kind of pushed it into a box and managed to get it outside and let it loose. Apparently, it was a little stunned at first. They kind of just set it down on the ground and didn't really move. But after 5 or 6 seconds, I guess it said, "Okay, nuts to that, I'm out of here," and it flew off. And that was the last we saw of that. Now, as we were talking about it afterwards, um, somebody mentioned to me that they had heard that the bat had been actually seen the night before in the building, but nobody was able to catch it, and it disappeared, and they didn't know where it was. So I'm thinking it probably went out into the warehouse, found some place to spend the night, and then was out and about today or yesterday. But like I said, that was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me at that place. Because that's not you just don't that's not something you expect to see. And I'm keep thinking, how did it even get in? I mean, we have warehouses and stuff like that, but generally, the type of thing we do for the warehouse is, the truck pulls into the bay, and then we open up the door. So it's not like we open up the door and let fresh air in all the time, but apparently it got in there at some point. Bacon covered in flour and then baked in the oven, huh? Yeah, I know. I'm kind of the animal wrangler. You're right. Wrap it up in bacon. Let's tie the bat and the bacon together. Yeah, it's surprising sometimes how animals can get into places they shouldn't be. Bats are actually, I mean, people think they're ugly, but they're actually kind of cute. I mean, I saw this thing up close. I was, within probably a foot of it. They do have cute faces. I've thought about having one as a pet. I know people that do that. My uncle used to have a colony of bats that lived in his attic, and in the early evening and night, you hear them flipping around inside there as they're finding their way out of the finding their way out of the attic there to go out and feed at night. A rat with wings, yeah. Well, that's one perspective. Besides, I always thought a rat with wings was a pigeon. You got foxes there, huh? Well, that was one of the things my boss said too. Is make sure you didn't bit in the process. I don't know if bats have rabies that much, or if that's just an urban legend. But I didn't want to hurt it, and I didn't want to get bit, so I took precautions as much as I could. Otherwise, I mean, I could have caught the thing and gotten it out of there very easily. Yeah, it seems I've heard that too, Rhonda. You kind of feel the breeze coming through here a little bit. I got the windows open at each end of the house, so we got a little breeze blowing through here. You had a pigeon get into your beef processing plant, and the manager shot it with a 22. Well, that's one approach. Yeah, I think that's what happened to this bat too. It flew into the glass door that goes onto my line. That was what ended up making it on the ground. The girls got new fancy dresses for church. You're not wearing the t-shirts to church? That's probably a good thing. You should probably dress up a little bit, right? Are the trees done shedding leaves? I don't know yet. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. The cover picture of this live stream today, though, is one of the other trees is already starting to bud out and have get some leaves on it. So that one's coming back. It's definite. We're getting into spring and summer here. Hey, Mark, how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you? It's under the dress. Okay, that's good. I feel better. Hey, it's the other Breck. How are you? I can imagine, Rhonda. And they lifted their dresses to show the priest. That's funny. Yeah, Bite's down here on the ground right now. You gonna come up and visit, Bite? Looking for a hole to crawl in. Yeah, what would life be if the kids didn't embarrass you once in a while? What's Waco rainfall this year? I don't know. It hasn't been a lot. We didn't get a lot of rain this winter, and really it's been just kind of negligible amount of rain since then. I mean, even when it was raining, last week during the tornado warning, uh, there wasn't really a whole lot of rain that came down. So you just got to laugh at it, Rhonda. I find that a lot of life's problems, you know, aren't as serious if you just laugh at it. Oh, it's because you got to. Okay, that's why we're not getting any rain. Yeah, maybe that's it. It's all your fault. But my experience has been that the rain seems to come in the summer, and we get really powerful electrical storms. And you know how much I love those. You know, ship it back. I think postal rates will kill you on that. Is there anything I would change in or about my shelter? I think the only thing, and I'm going to have to think about how I deal with this. There's a fixture and a light bulb that hangs down from the top, and I guess I'd probably like that to be a little bit more flush to the ceiling because I'm a tall guy, and I bump my head on that light. And one of these times, I'm going to break that light. But I think that just might be a project I try at some point. We'll find something real, small and flush mount, and put that in there in place. Because it sticks, probably a good, 6 or 8 inches down from the ceiling, and the roof in there isn't really that tall. It's big enough so I can stand up in there, but like I said, I hit my head on the light bulb all the time, and like I said, it's just a matter of time before I break that bulb because I got a hard head. Well, that's an option too, Black Dot, because that is a good idea. Because if there was a real tornado, it would be nice if there was a light that charged up in there and was ready to go in case the power got knocked off. Because right now all the power in that thing is plugged into the grid. So if the power goes out, you like to scare your dad when he got home from work. Awesome. That's what the girls do too. Why don't I doubt that? warming up in Vermont to a short pants weather, 47 degrees. We're supposed to hit like almost 90 today. I was halfway thinking about going and doing the live stream outside. Wasn't enough time to get it set up though. Plus the fact I thought everybody would want to see Bite and Nibble, and if it's outside, then that kind of limits the possibility of that happening. Right, Bite? Oh, let's turn the camera here so you can see it. It's like Shamu jumping out of the water for a fish. You had to, you had to start calling each other mommy and daddy because the girls called you Michael and Rhonda. That's funny. Time to try the swimming pool. No, not yet. No way. Temperature in there is probably only 50 degrees. Your cats were asleep. You're welcome. Always glad to be of service. Hey, VNA. High five, Logan. I'm not sure how close it got to me. It probably wasn't any closer than 20 miles, if that. Like I said, I was acting on data that there was a tornado around Temple, and I never heard about what came of that one. I know that there was some serious destruction done like down around Austin by another tornado, and there were like 20 of them I think that went through the state that day. But they were saying nobody was killed, and so they were really happy with that. But there was some damage to buildings and trees and stuff like that. I'm not aware of any of that here. No, I am not a polar bear dip person, not at all. I only really like the pool when it gets above 80 degrees, and honestly, it's nicest when it's like 85, 86. That's when it's really nice to be out there, and that's like the middle of summer. Yeah, I think I heard Round Rock too. Honestly, I didn't look at the barometer during this whole thing. I bet you it did, though. I'd actually like to get like an analog barometer. It'd be cool to have. I mean, I got a couple things that kind of serve like barometers, but my little weather station on the wall that has a barometer on it, and I got a really old style barometer here. I'll show you that. This thing here is technically a barometer, and you can kind of judge the weather on it. Um, if the pressure is low, then water goes up in this tube higher, and the higher it goes, the lower the pressure is. One of the things I've discovered about this is it's also very sensitive to temperature. So uh, as you can see right now already, the water level's going up just because I'm heating up the water with my hand. And so it's very sensitive to like temperature variations too. So as the temperature in the house changes, uh, you know the pressure goes up and down too. You see how high the water's risen. The water's risen probably 2 inches in that tube just in the couple of minutes I've been holding on to it. It does look like grape juice, doesn't it? Yeah, I wondered. It's just water with food coloring in it, and I put red and blue in there to make it purple. How old is it? It's not terribly old. It's something my mom and dad got me because they knew I'm kind of into this stuff. I've had it for a few years. Yeah, that's just it's a contemporary made one, but it's an old style. I think, oh, Isaac Newton or something like that invented it. I don't remember. Uh, and that was how they used to do weather in the past. Predict the weather. Because when the water goes up, that means the pressure is going down. Hello, Dave and Terry. How are you? Mom's doing good. She's hoping for a little rain this week. I don't know. I was looking at the radar a little while ago. It looks like there's some rain offshore that might come in. Might come in at one point. I don't know. We'll see. Laura Lee is not a fan of swimming pools, huh? Or at least not the deep end. Yeah, you're thinking like one of those hand boiler things, right? Where it's liquid in a glass tube or something like that, and you hold on to one end and the liquid goes to the other end. Yeah, I've seen those. It's kind of the same principle as those hand boilers, because the thing kind of goes up and down like that, like it's drinking. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's see if my blood pressure goes up. Yeah, you got to have the cuff on me to do that, though. Yeah, I've always had some sort of a pet in my life, so that's always been a part of my life. Early on, I had dogs and cats and guinea pigs and birds and mice, rabbits, had all sorts of pets. So bite and nibble are just the latest in a long string. So you just stay in the shallow end of the pool. You'd like my pool then. The whole pool is shallow end. I don't really use it for swimming. I use it just kind of for cooling off after work or at the end of a long day, but only during the summer. Can't go in there now. Now I need a skinny pig, huh? Okay. Yeah, Jordan was just laughing. We were both laughing at that because, the first time you could say, "Oh, okay, that happened," but then he goes and does it again and again and again. It's like after like the third time, it's like he's doing this intentionally, and we both kind of realized that at the same time. Oh yeah, the pool is probably 3.5 feet deep, and maybe 4 feet deep. You played Operation the other night, huh? Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I remember that. Yeah, I don't think it's I don't think my pool. I think my pool is 3.5 or 4 feet deep. I don't know. You have a bunch of board games and you have family night. That family game night. That sounds like fun. Have I used my new trailer yet? No, but my mom has told me she was kind of embarrassed when I was painting my bedroom at my old chest of drawers, which basically I've had since I was a kid. And she said she wanted to buy me a new one. So I'm going to probably go over to the place, the Bob Mills Furniture, where I bought the bedroom set for the guest bedroom, and see if we can find something there. And I'll definitely use the trailer for that. Cheeseburger pie for dinner tonight. That sounds good. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm actually going out to do something fun to vlog today. And I think my appointment for that is at 4 o'clock. So it may take me a couple hours. I don't know. We'll figure out dinner when I get home. The girls love it, but you never play Monopoly. Monopoly might be a little hard for the little ones to understand. Laura Lee's great at hide and seek. All right, there you go. You just bought the girls new beds. Oh, that's I love a new bed. I remember those too. Yeah, it was like bowling pins, right? With a thing on a string. Yeah, I remember that. New beds for jumping on. Nothing jumps on better than a new bed. You don't play video games. That's probably good. You don't really get the the interactions with people by playing video games. You don't like it that I'm putting ideas in their head, right? I haven't seen the possum since I left. Since I stopped shooting video of it. Went out the next morning, it was gone. But I'm gonna be a lot more tolerant with them in my yard here because the problem I had in California was they'd get into my fish pond and eat my fish. I don't have any of that this time, so I don't really need to worry about it. One of the things I liked about the Bob Mills furniture was it was really, really well built and quality stuff. It was pricey, definitely, but you know, it 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 looks really nice in there. That room is really sharp. Probably the nicest room in the house. Has Jeff been here yet? No. He was mentioning earlier though that he might come and visit in fall. He had mentioned, I don't know, a few weeks ago that he was thinking about coming to Waco and because he wanted to see the Magnolia silos. And I said, yeah, we'll check. Look me up when you get here. Oh, okay. I misread the question. I guess Rhonda figured it out. Am I into sports? No, not really. I mean, I don't mind going and watching a game, live or something like that. Jordan for a while was into the Clippers in LA, and he brought me to a number of Clippers games, and I had a good time there. But it's not ever going to be one of those things where I become enough of a fan where I say, I'm going to watch every game here. My mom is sort of like that. My mom watched basketball, and so she's always watching a basketball game. I'm not really into that. I don't mind playing sports. That's fun. Armchair athlete. I'm a armchair nothing. Was my dad a football fan? Not really a lot. I mean, he'd sit down and watch the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday, but I don't. But he didn't really watch that either. And my mom only got into basketball, uh, a few years ago. She wasn't into that, for instance, when I was a kid, when I was living at home. Girls want to play baseball. Baseball's fun. No, no, I don't think the possum will be any problem with Flash. Flash crossed paths with at least a dozen possums in California, and there was never any problem. In fact, possums tend to go, when they're scared, they try and find a dark place to hide. And Flash used to have a little wooden box that she slept in. I called it her winter house because it was under the patio cover, where she hibernated every year. And there were times where the possums that I was chasing around the yard would go right into the box there with Flash, and yeah, there was never a problem. Do I play music? No. My mom and dad tried to get me to do music when I was a kid, but it wasn't really something I was into. Do I do play an instrument? Yes, I sort of. I mean, I played clarinet when I was a kid. I took piano lessons when I was a kid. I had a saxophone when I was a kid, but I don't do any of that now. Occasionally, you'll watch beach volleyball. You don't know why. I might have a clue on that. Yeah, we'll try doing that. Get some flash videos here. Yeah, I think I remember. Don't break the camel's back. Ron to play his French horn. Nice. Yeah, we're getting close to the point where we're going to be, planting plants here. Because I got a couple areas now that I gotta plant. Yeah, I've heard of people keeping possums as pets. I've never really thought of that as an option, but where are they? Where's the cats? The cats are actually right out here. White is right down there on the ground, and Nibble is in the middle of the hallway there. I should plant strawberries for Flash. Yeah, I don't know if I'll plant strawberries for Flash, but she'll definitely get her share of stuff. You want a hedgehog, huh? You play piano and a little harmonica. All right. Gene's got to go to church. Thanks for stopping in, Gene. Good talking to you. He didn't say I play well. See, that was why I never really got that into performing music either. I had no talent in that. I admire people who do. DNA plays the flute. All right, there you go. I thought about trying to play the flute. I know it's fingered the same as the saxophone, so it wouldn't be that hard. Wouldn't be that hard of a tradition or a transition. That's one of the things I kind of like about the woodwinds. They're all kind of fingered the same. Not exactly. There's a little difference between uh, like a saxophone and a clarinet, but her husband is a professional drummer and recorded several times and has a $35,000 drum kit. Awesome. That you're serious when you spend that kind of money on a drum set. Do I ever listen to use headphones? I do. I have done that. I generally listen to it through speakers though. Yeah, grass is starting to turn a little bit green now. It's been kind of a golden color all summer or all winter because it kind of dies off during the winter. But I'm noticing that it's starting to turn green again. So it's probably not going to be long before I have to get out there and start mowing again. Looking forward to that. Not. Yeah, everybody who posted comments on that video mentioned that they're insect eaters and they eat pests and stuff like that. So whatever, as long as they're not eating fish, my fish, I'm good. You play the harmonica in the jukebox, huh? You bought hubby a record player or for Christmas, and you've been collecting vinyl. I have some vinyl too, but I don't play it because I don't even have a turntable. I've shown you those, my propellers and stuff like that from Guided by Voices. Some of the neighbors have commented. Yeah, I've received compliments from people who like what I've done plant wise in the front yard. Because that was the one criticism I had of the previous owners is that the landscaping in the yard was just it was boring. There was nothing there. They had the same kind of plant everywhere around the house, and no variety, nothing that flowered. I'll tell you, I have an interesting clarinet. Let me show you that. Hang on a second. This one's kind of cool. People, when they think of clarinets, they think they're usually made out of plastic or wood. But I got this clarinet here. This is actually something I got from a friend of mine in college who uh, happened to own a music store, and he had a whole bunch of clarinets that he had refurbished that were old. And this one is a metal clarinet, still functional. In fact, he completely repatted it for me when he sold it to me. And yeah, you don't see many of these. This thing's over 100 years old. Still plays perfectly too. I wonder if there's a year date on it somewhere. I don't, but it was almost 100 years old when I got it. It's older than that now. I've had it for many, many years. Still plays perfectly. Probably needs new pads. I'm sure it probably could use new pads after all these years. Actually, I'm looking at them. They look pretty good shape. But yeah, you don't see something like that. 100-year-old clarinet. Imagine that. It even comes with one of these little music stand holder things here, so you can. It screws right onto the side of it here, and then you can put your sheet music on and read your music while you're playing here. I don't know. I didn't really expect I'd bring that out here and show you today, but what brand is that? I was trying to read that a little bit ago here. The engraving on it says Diplomat. Took me a while to figure out what it is because there's the engraving right there. Like I said, when I got this thing like 30 years ago, it turned out, like I said, the guy I got it from was in the orchestra I was in college, and he kind of introduced himself to me, and because and he had one in here that he was playing, and I said, "Oh man, that's beautiful. I'd love to have one of those." And he says, "I got a whole bunch of them back at the shop. I'll fix one up for you." And he sold it to me for $35. Can you believe that? 100-year-old metal clarinet, perfect functioning order for $35. Very cool, huh? So yeah, you don't get to see one of those very often, huh? First time that thing's seen the light of day in probably 20 years. Yeah, it was definitely for marching. No, Clinton played the saxophone, I think. Yeah, I was thinking he played on Arsenio Hall. It would actually be kind of cool to display. Yeah, I got a bunch of fun stuff like that. Just keep pulling stuff out for the vlogs every once in a while. Oh yeah, check this out. I know it's in really great shape. Like I said, the guy had a whole bunch of them. He said, "I'll pick the best one out and I'll fix it up, put new pads on it and everything, and $35." Can you believe that? I mean, even though that was the '80s, that's still that was a heck of a price. Yeah, no, just water. I pointed this out before, but if I drank that much vodka, I'd be asleep at the end of the live stream. You get your French horn for $75. I mean, I guess technically, if you consider it's a used clarinet, that's but I mean, for because I mean, at the time it was like 80 or 90 years old, and I've had it, since the what mid 80s. So I've had another 35 years. So it's well over 100 years old. You start our own band, right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe caffeine, maybe vodka would wake me up, like caffeine puts me to sleep. Yeah, no, no, vodka puts me to sleep too. Just don't ask me to sing. Yeah, me either. Nobody wants that. You believe musical instruments are considered antique at 75 years old? Well, that's definitely an antique. Well, you're right, Gene, because I mean, let's face it, this thing survived more than 100 years. You sound like someone's skinning a cat. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, music can be a great healer. I've heard of a hurdy-gurdy. Orly's not into opera. I guess it depends on what opera it is. I'm a huge fan of Mozart. Mozart did some great opera. I ever heard the group Porcupine Tree? No, I can't say that I have. Look it up on YouTube. I'll like them, huh? All right, we'll see. Keep seeing something out of the corner of my eye and think it's a cat, but no, it's just a cat toy. Yeah, is that thing that they used to use with the trained monkeys to collect money? Speaking of trained monkeys, Organ grinder. Yeah, right. I don't know. Let's all be thinking the same thing here. Okay, now that isn't what I'm thinking at all. Not even close. So I guess I didn't know about it as much about him as I thought. I'll just see you put a GoPro on one of those RC airplanes. I'd like to do that too, but unfortunately, a lot of those events happen on Saturdays, and I'm working on Saturdays. And here in Texas, it's a very religious place, and so the state, pretty much almost totally shuts down on Sundays. So, you know, there aren't a whole lot of those events that happen during the during on Sundays and weekdays. I think you might occasionally just get an individual out there, but you get a whole bunch of airplanes, you know, you gotta be there on a weekend and or on a Saturday, and that just doesn't happen very much. I would love to. I would put it. It would be amazing footage. And I know that group is still active because every once in a while they're still posting stuff on their Facebook page, and I follow that. And it's people with their new airplanes, and you know, those people spend some serious bank on those airplanes. Can I see myself working and where I'm at until retirement? Yeah, I could. I mean, I like the fact that there's so much room for growth. There's all sorts of opportunities being dropped in front of me, and you know it's just nice to have bosses and management who actually care about you. It's just such a nice change of pace from Disney. Oh, Rhonda and the girls are checking out. All right, that happens. Goodbye, Rhonda. Goodbye, Charlotte. Goodbye, Logan. Goodbye, all the menagerie. Donovan sang the hurdy gurdy man. Hmm. Yeah, and things got so much better too when they finally dropped the mask mandate. So I don't have to wear a mask at work anymore. I hope that's the end, but I fear it isn't. You gonna come up and visit, Bite? Huh? Come on up. They want to see you. Ah, ah. No, I'm gonna go walk away. Pretend like you really don't care at all, do you? When in reality, what you want me to do is come over and pet you. See, I knew it. I was gonna go over to this side here, but I think he's just gonna hide behind me. You're on camera. I'm gonna go hide in this side here. Oh, go mess with the brush, huh? Pull the lid off the kitty treat jar here. Only the hole on this is so small you can't get in there very well. It'll work for a while as long as the treats are high up, but he eats enough of them out of there, he's not gonna be able to reach them anymore. So you already can't get them. They just play a practical joke on you and made it even harder for you to get them. Okay, I don't want you to get used to sticking your head in there because you'll get your head stuck in there, won't you? You'll get your big fat head stuck in there, won't you? Yes, you will. Yeah, you'll get your big fat head stuck in there. Okay, Black Dot's checking out too. Thanks for stopping in, Black Dot. Good talking to you. What about Nibble? Nibble is probably in her room. She was out a little bit earlier in the day. She comes out right at the beginning of the live streams. Usually does a lap around the armchair and then goes back into her room. Yeah, I don't think I could sell that thing though. It's just more cool to have it. It's been probably 3 years now since I started doing doing videos, and I still can surprise you by something weird that I have. Hey, bye. What are you doing over there? Everyone got really quiet all of a sudden. They go to the vet for their shots, but and I had them spayed and neutered and microchipped when they're babies, but they've been pretty healthy. In fact, it's funny. Last week I was trying to take them over and find a new vet to, uh, you know, have them be their regular vet. Now that we got the new house here, I wanted to find something new for them. And every vet that I found so far has like a 4 week waiting list, and you have to almost audition to become a patient. It's weird. Well, with that clarinet too, I had actually looked for it because it wasn't where I originally thought it was. I thought it was in the guest bedroom closet. I went in there and looked and couldn't find it in there. Turned out it was in my bedroom closet. Even there, I'd look a minute or two to find it. All the cats are always making me laugh. They always do something stupid. They're crazy kitties. Yeah, it's almost like auditioning now to get a part in a play or something like that to get a vet. I mean, even going to like the vet at PetSmart, there's like, yeah, well, we can make an appointment in 4 weeks. It's like, well, I need to do something before that. What's left I want to complete on my house before or this summer. The only thing left painting wise is the master bathroom, and we'll wait for that this summer. I don't know. We'll figure out something to entertain myself. I mean, now that I got the house painted, maybe we'll just start over and paint it all over again. Paint it something else. But it's going to be in July. It's going to be 2 years I've been in here, and I pretty much got everything the way I want it now. It has come along well. Got a lot done in a very short period of time. But ultimately, I want to get out in the yard at some point now. I think we're pretty safely past the freezes. We're gonna. It's just gonna go get to rain now, and I'm seeing like 70s and 80s for the foreseeable future. Maybe dip into the upper 60s, but it's supposed to be 90 today. But there's a nice breeze, so it doesn't really feel like that. Spring fever, yeah, right. What's planned for today? Actually, I've got something that I think is going to be really kind of cool that I'm going to do. I started seeing this on my Facebook page about a month ago. That apparently there's this traveling. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a life-size animatronic dinosaur exhibit that's been traveling around the country, and I guess it's coming to Waco. Well, it's in Waco this weekend at the convention center, and I'm going to go do that today. I bought tickets for that about a month ago online, and I am ready to go. So that's going to be fun. I was telling somebody, interestingly enough, I was telling somebody about that at work yesterday that I was going to do that, and they said, "Oh, they heard that one of the dinosaurs caught on fire." Yeah, I guess that's what happens. We'll have to look into that when we go out there today. Yeah, I wouldn't be slurring my speech anymore, Mark. I'd be asleep. There's a song called "Spring Fever" by Elvis Presley. All right, there we go. Wonder if there's a song called "Drinking Vodka" on a live stream by anybody, let alone Elvis Presley. I would guess that there probably isn't one by Elvis Presley because by the time he passed, there wasn't anything like a live stream. There was vodka though. That much is certain. Coming to the end of this one, I think. So speak now or forever hold your peace, at least until next week. Voodoo Ranger will kick me in the pants. You know what? If they give me a sponsorship, I'll talk about Voodoo Ranger. I keep expecting every time I walk into Home Depot that maybe somebody's going to come in and, oh, we like how you talk about us all the time. Not yet. I don't think any of them even recognize me. I've watched some of Jordan's vlogs. I honestly don't watch all of them at this point. I don't watch any vlogs really. Basically, when I'm done with work and done with my own vlog, I just kind of want to relax. But every once in a while, something goes comes across that Jordan does, and say, "Oh, I got to watch that." There was one I was seeing recently that I thought I had to go watch. Let's see if I can figure out what it is here. I thought I had YouTube here. Jordan the Lion. Oh, the Daniel Johnson's one. I want to watch that one. I'm seeing Steel Magnolias. That doesn't really do anything for me. I never saw that movie. Yeah, we're gonna go for a couple more minutes here, but I like to at least give you 2 hours. But you can kind of tell when the audience starts winding down because the comments start slowing down. Well, at the end, Jordan's vlogs weren't all about stuff in California. Anyway, he was traveling so much. So, it made sense for him to move someplace else, because he's still, basically traveling all the time, going to someplace, I don't even know where he is right now. The only bathroom I did was the guest bathroom. The master bathroom is still uh, the color it was when I bought the house. And honestly, the color in the master bathroom isn't that bad. It's a little boring, but yeah, the audience helped on two of the rooms. You guys helped paint the guest bedroom too, guest bathroom and guest bedroom. That was both of you guys. Would I ever do a travel vlog? Probably, but mine will be different than Jordan's kind of travel vlogs. I'm more of a nature kind of person. So if I were going to do a travel vlog, and I probably will at some point, it's going to be like going to national parks and stuff like that, seeing fun things. I definitely want to go to Yellowstone. I want to go to some of the places that I went to as a kid. My parents and family went to when we did family vacations every year. We would go to like national parks, and I had a blast doing all those. And I think I'd enjoy them a lot more now as an adult. Big Tooth is getting ready to put all of his winter clothes to bed for the winter here before boxing them up. Yeah, I wouldn't rule that out. Got to find the right person, the person that could tolerate me. Well, I really like, I mean, as you know, if you've watched us for any length of time, I'm into geology. And so there's a few national parks that are very geologically oriented. And I would love to see those, like I said, Yellowstone is a perfect example. Um, Grand Canyon is a perfect example. Yosemite is a great example. I've been to Yosemite a bunch of times because that was in California, and but I've never done a vlog in any of those places. Am I running out of things to vlog? You know what? Sometimes it feels like I am, but then things just pop up. It's like, oh, I'm going to go do this today. But yeah, I mean, for a town of what, 20, 25, 30,000 people, whatever it is that are here, um, there's only so much you're going to find here. But see, that's part of why I like that. Yeah, yeah, I've been to Yellowstone and seen Old Faithful, and that's definitely what I want to do. But I want to go look and hike around some of the other things that are there. There's a lot of really cool geological stuff going on there because the entirety of the park is built on a what they call a supervolcano. There's a few of those in the world, and one of them there is Yellowstone National Park. Ironically, another one is what's responsible for creating the Hawaiian Islands, which would be another fun place to visit, right? Go visit my friend Matt. I always especially love visiting him because he was he was on the Big Island, and the Big Island is the one that's geologically active, and so it isn't as beautiful as the other islands. There are some very beautiful places on the Big Island, but since it's a newer island, um, you know, it's more like lava flows and stuff like that. And I love going into like lava tubes, and we visited Kilauea a couple times. A lot of fun. You enjoyed the micro wrestling? I know that was a blast. Like I said, the original raw video was 2 hours long, so I spent 2 days editing that just to get it down to what was it, 35, 40 minutes long. Where are my muddy tennis shoes? Well, they aren't muddy anymore, and I'm wearing them. I hosed them off really well and then ran them through the washer and dryer. Yeah, I agree with you, Gene. The geology in Hawaii is amazing. Planned two vacations, one in California, one in Hawaii. Yeah, well, we'll have to do. I got to do that first one, or that first one definitely. It'd be fun to go to Florida too. I'd love to go like see Cape Canaveral and that kind of stuff. I was in Florida many many years ago on a business trip and got a chance to go to Cape Canaveral, but there wasn't anything happening there. It was just the just being on the site, but that was still kind of fun. In fact, I spent a summer in Alabama once too, and there's a big space station or space center there too. And I'd love to go back and vlog that. That was a lot of fun too. You didn't think the cats are that old? Yeah, they're kind of ancient. Anyway, I think I've put in my 2 hours, so I'm gonna pull the plug on this one. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next week. Good night.